I'd like to call to order the Capital Improvement Committee meeting of September 19th, 2024 at 2:20 PM. What we're going to do is just continue on from our last meeting. We talked about cleaning up our spreadsheet a little bit. We had asked Lisa to take, if you notice on your sheets, the first section, fiscal year 25, these are going to go, 25 is already done and approved at the spring town meeting, but this is something for the fall town meeting, the special town meeting. There's some lighting requests. Getting down to the next section, fiscal year 26, you'll see the first dozen items those are all the items that we approved on our 5-year plan. And everything underneath it is requests that came in. So, as we discussed, it was probably a good idea so we don't lose track of what we're doing. We have to figure out where we stand and if we're gonna move things around, give us some good thought. There's 2 pages that Lisa sent to us. Those are the values of each one of the plans. You'll see some things that were removed or adjusted, and that's pretty accurate. The only thing that is still consistent with what was on our 5-year plan. However, during this exercise, Lisa picked up on fiscal year 29. If you recall, it used to say 2.6 million and change, but it actually adds up to 2.4, which that number's not accurate anyways because we can't spend that kind of money. We're still going on the premise that we're somewhere around 1.2, and I won't know that until probably October as to what our actual budget is. Anybody have any comments to this? I've given you a few minutes to look at it since I was late. Any comments or anything on this stuff? After we go through today, I think what we should probably do is decide today who we want to bring in to our next meeting to talk about some of this stuff. So these are all the things that are on there. So if anybody has something to say, just interrupt me. I'm just going through this process. We have fiscal year 26. We're already at 1.243379, and then you'll see these other requests that came in. But, when we're looking at all these things, we're going to find out if those items are actually on there. Here we hear a lot of discussion through the different committees and stuff talking about 19 Main Street. That is on there. That's something that we'll address and find out if that's something we're doing internally or if we're going to send it out to bid to have done, and if it's going to be done this year. That with the lobby windows at $35,000 to reglaze those is what the terminology is, replacing the glass. It's the most economical way to do it. The frames are all in good shape. We'll make sure that that's going to be done. The library, I'm missing something there. You have the other capital list. You showed it to me a minute ago. Can you look and see?
Oh, this one?
Yeah. Can you look and see on fiscal year 26 if the library exterior masonry restoration and ceilings on that?
That was a request that just came in.
It's not. Thanks.
Yeah, there's some shuffling.
This isn't what that I thought that we wanted. I think we wanted all this stuff on top to show what we approved.
Exactly. But I think somehow it came in there.
Roadway paving.
Like if you look, asphalt hot box. On here it says.
Okay, so,
Listed on SIP for FY '27, but they moved it to '26. So there's some motion going on in there.
no, I see what happened. So it might have been miscommunication from my part. This is what's supposed to be at the top of this. So I was going by the notes and figured I need a line, so I guess I don't need a line. So, does everybody agree that we want this at the heading of each fiscal year? This stuff that is from this list? This is this, right here. This is what we
Yeah.
voted on at town meeting for our
Yeah.
5-year plan.
Yeah,
So, and I might have not explained it properly to Lisa. There might have been a little confusion on it. But my impression of what we talked about last meeting was we were gonna take this list and
Yeah.
put it at the top of each section, so then we could see
What's approved.
before we start playing around with adding.
Correct, yep.
yeah.
Okay, so,
Yeah, 'cause I think that we were talking about the municipal gym windows.
right,
Those were
This is-
28
so,
on this.
Just
But wait a minute,
Right on.
municipal gym windows versus
Well, the lobby windows.
the lobby.
Sorry.
'Cause the gym-
windows just got dark.
Yes,
Jim, this is for the lobby.
yeah,
Lobby, I misspoke.
No,
that's all right.
Jim Windows, make sure to tweak a little bit. She twitched when you say it, because that was quite the battle.
Yes, it was, because that's what the people voted, and
Yeah.
we weren't going to forget that.
27. Okay, so I don't want to lose another week on this. We can take, let's take 26 for argument's sake. That's the one that we need to do right away. We've already talked about 25, the special town meeting, so we just have to decide what we're doing with that. On 26,
So Mike, which paper are you on
Okay,
when you
so
start talking?
this is the
26?
request.
Yeah,
This is our approved capital plan, right? So it'll be, instead of trying to take this and look back and forth, it might be easier just to take this fiscal year '26. And what I'm doing real quickly is just looking through to see if any of this stuff is moved or on here again. But, Okay, so I just found something else that'll help us with our budget as well, is you have the fire department cardiac monitors.
yeah,
If you go over to the big sheet, that's on there as well, but that comes out of ambulance receipts, which is gonna help us on our capital budget itself, because that 114,000 that's out of our capital budget is actually ambulance receipts. So that helps our amount there. I found that one. These Bunsen burgers, they never got done? I keep seeing these foolish things all
It
the
says
time.
completed, school department funded.
All right. Remove, yep. Yep. Remove to be funded by school lunch for 13,000.
Now, I'm confused about municipal first and second floor renovation, says moved to FY '27 request, but it hasn't been removed from the budget.
Well, yeah, so what I was I should explain what I was thinking, is go through this list, right?
Yeah.
And that, the renovations and the digitizing the documents, we need to have somebody come in and tell us, are we doing that this year? Is that still on fiscal year 26? Is that
That
gonna
would
be-
include the flooring, carpet, flooring, digitizing, and renovation.
Right, yep. Yeah, we just gotta re-question all these things, so this here, I don't know who the documents go to. We'll have to find that out. This, Adam does the renovation for the time being. So we'll have, Adam's gotta come in for the highway, backhoe and the plow. So the two certainties that we know here are the 360 for the Chapter 90 match and the 100,000 for the stabilization. I'm gonna jump off topic for a minute. Bob, were you just here to view, or you have something? Okay. School department's gotta come in about that lawnmower there. Fire department. Okay, so we should, the school have the mowers on this new one?
No, the only thing looks like the 10,000 gallon tank.
So you're talking about this sheet,
What's that?
the mowers on this
I
sheet?
was just trying to, this is what we approved, so
Yeah.
now I was looking to see, because I'm identifying who the different departments are for the fiscal year 26,
Yeah,
but then I started thinking about it, that we should see if they actually requested it on here, and we can call them in and ask them about it,
I don't see it on here at all.
but I don't see it on this, on 2026, I don't know what happened to the mower, right? I know what else we need to help us with this. We need the individual, a ton of paper for us, but we need the individual submissions from the department so we can see what they
Yeah.
actually sent us. Because now we have Lisa transposing their information onto something else.
yeah.
So if we have that master on their list, then we can see
Okay.
if it's shifted around.
So what you do have regarding the school front-mounted field mower replacement,
On where?
Oh, yeah. It's the same price.
on both of them, both sheets,
On the big sheet?
Yes.
Page
Yeah.
two.
Where is it?
on
Second
page
page.
2.
Last one in 26.
Okay, all right, so 29,547.
Right.
So that number hasn't changed.
Yep. And that's for 20, listed on the CIP for
Yeah.
FY '26.
Fire department, 2 cardiac monitors. Are those separate, those on the ambulance?
Yes.
I assume they were, but I didn't want to listen. They were on the, so 26. All right, so they actually have, in 27, they have an ambulance. They don't have them in 26. So John, looking at this request, John had asked me to stop and talk to him about his requests that are coming up, just going over different things. And the replacement of engine 2. So right now, trying to get on our 5-year plan that we were talking about when we did this special stabilization account. We have a 2017, we have a 2022. So in sequence, it would be a 2027. If he orders the truck after the Maytown meeting in June, he expects that he would get it in January of 27. I don't know if it's model year 27, but it puts him in 27. He starts to get that 5-year stagger that we're looking for these trucks. We need to know what that, what's in that budget, because that's going to affect us. So if it's fiscal year 26. I want that answer because I've been thinking about it for a while, so I'm just going to ask Gene real quick what's in our special stabilization account. If you guys can just try to think of who we may want to have come in. We have, school only has one thing on there. What else did they have on?
Excuse
Why
me,
don't we, got,
but they all get a request
They all-
for their,
they all get a
Okay.
request. But I want to make best use of their time. So the fire department stuff is, what they're saying on here is it's going to come out of ambulance receipts. The cardiac monitors that they have on 26. They also have a Lucas CPR device, 2 of those. They have an ambulance they don't want to put in. I guess the ambulances take almost up to 30 months to get. So that's why we're going to order them now. You have a 2018 and a 2019. So we can't wait for them to break because it takes way too long to get.
Yep.
So because they're coming out of ambulance receipts. Ellie, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yep, just checking. The ambulance receipts, there's enough in there to purchase the ambulance and this other equipment. They average somewhere around $700,000 a year in ambulance receipts. Now, we've had the habit of transferring out ambulance receipts for payroll and stuff, so we have to be mindful of that. Last year was $385,000, so. But with the planning, we can satisfy their needs, I'm sure, through those receipts. So I want to know what that truck is, because that, that's huge. If we only have I think we only had like 200,000 in there, maybe 300 after.
Mike?
Yes?
Mike?
Yeah?
I have the Bartholomew report for 2024 right in front of me, because the library has an account there too. And it says for the fire, is that what you're looking for? It's $104,788.86.
Yep, and that's not correct, because we put $100,000 a year into it. So I'm just gonna go see Gene real quick.
Yep.
And get that. Gene's in the lunchroom. But we'll have that answer, we'll get that answer as to what we have in there, but if we're putting that in, it's gonna have a big impact to our budget.
Do we know, do we want to hear from departments that have outstanding articles to see what is potentially going to be unspent from prior capital projects? That may-
Yeah, that's gonna come back from, Jean will do that, she'll get she contacts all them and gets all the turnbacks. She knows what all of them are, instead of us asking, do you have anything? And then we're like, oh, well, maybe. She knows, she'll be like, you have $10 left in this, what's the deal with that? So she typically gets that information for us.
Okay.
We could have them come in, but it'd just be meeting time that
Well,
we
I'm
could
just
get the answer
noticing
quick.
that School requested the oil tank for 180 something thousand. Wasn't that 200,000 they were requesting before, and they said that wasn't enough?
No, it was $140,000.
Okay, 140.
They're actually at 147 now. They were at $140,000 2 years in a row,
And they had no idea if that was even
and
close.
they didn't get it. They were having challenges getting quotes on it.
Yeah.
So you weren't sure if that number was accurate. And because of the excessive price, or the budget went pretty high on the school cameras, we opted to
Right.
transfer those funds, or reappropriate those funds to that need. But I did tell Courtney that when the time comes, we're gonna get an oil tank, I'll sit next to her and fight for her to get the oil tank, because we need to get that thing fixed. But we need to know some sort of quotes and the timeline. I
So
don't
that number
wanna,
is any more real now than it was last year.
I don't know.
I don't mean to say this negative to the school either, it just,
Right, and that's why I answered the way I did, is it's not fair to them to, some people will read comments a different way, and they're at a disadvantage because they can't get a good quote.
you know.
So, whatever can be done to help them, I'm sure we're gonna do it.
rather than cleaning dirt.
Well, we're still playing with the one here, and that was only 330 gallons, and these hold 5 or 10,000, whatever they are. So, I don't want to deal with that.
I do have a question, Mike. So every year, we're now putting in funds, extra funds for the highway to match
For the road work,
road work.
correct.
So, and then the other thing we're doing is, 100,000?
For the special stabilization. So the Chapter 90, for the road repair,
Yeah,
we get roughly $362,000 a year from Chapter 90 money.
yeah,
We, as a committee, recommended that we somewhat match it. We came up with a number of 360. It was just an even number for us,
Right.
instead of having pennies attached to it.
So my question is, does that show on this for every year?
Yes.
Yep. 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 And yep.
Except for third.
Yes, it does. Yep. Actually, if you look, let's see. So what is missing off this list is the $100,000.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's missing on each and every year.
Yeah.
So what started me to look at it is if you look at the third column from the left, on the highway paving, it's saying annual, and we should have another annual next to the 100,000 for
okay.
the special stabilization. I threw a lot at Lisa at the
Yeah, I know.
on this here, so did a good job getting this accomplished. We can get this cleaned up for us, that's not a problem. On our next meeting, we're going to, let's see, yeah. So move to, oh. Okay. So what Lisa did is she helped us. Now I'm starting to understand what I'm looking at here. If you look at the one that just shows our budget with the notes to the right,
Right,
the backhoe got moved to fiscal year '27. It's not on '26, right? And this is where it's going to get a little confusing for us, because that got moved to '27, but this list '27 doesn't reflect it. So,
Is it worth taking the vote to move things that department heads asked to move back a year, to move it back a year?
well, that's, yeah, it does say request, we have to do that. They have no,
But then we can get this really pared down to what they still want in '26, and we can then take the $220,000 for that they said we don't need this back, well, this year, we need it next year, and allocate to them something that may be a sooner priority.
and this is just how my head works, I don't know if anybody else has this problem, but it would be easier for me if I had this list at the top, right? And then I seen over here on fiscal year '27, on the request of the backhoe, right? And with the note next to it, previously requested for fiscal year '26, then we could just go back, oh, okay, so that's on our, that comes off. And we
Yeah.
just picked up 220,000. But that's what how I'm going through this, is like, all right, I got that, but then I have, so we got another 220, right? I guess I can still do it that way. Move the 28, there's another 80. Move the 27 is another 150. Move the 28 is another 75.
5.25 just it moves.
Yeah.
That's the fire truck.
Scratch that remark. Just a word of warning to you. People watch this and hang on your words. Just be sure you're accurate as to what you want to say. And I'm only saying that through experience that's been thrown in my face. You said, I guess the words came out, but it was the context in which I said it might have been up for discussion. 560,168. 168. So I think the column to the right, the 1243379, we're going to use that as a guide, right? Because we use 1.250, I think is what we're using, or 1150, but we'll go with 1250 just to start with for a guide for us to use. So then we can take 1, 2, 4, 3. So I can't go shopping unless I know how much is in my pocket. That's the problem that I have. So if I don't have a number to work with, all this stuff means nothing at all to me. I don't know how you guys feel about it, but
I agree.
yeah. So that just reduced 2026 down to 683, 211. So we have in essence, we have 560,000 to work with, right? So why don't we do it that way? So I guess we can forget about this thing for the moment and look at these requests. And out of here, now you have to take, on the fire department, replacing the fire truck is the only thing that's not, that's the first item on there. That's the only thing that's not in ambulance receipts on their request, right? So you have that in there.
How about that replace flooring one? That's not ambulance receipts either?
Well, you know why I drew a stupid line on here,
I
so
know
I'm
you-
all messed up.
Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, and we have the replace the flooring. The flooring does need to be corrected over there. I wish, Matt, do you know if we had 200,000 or
Wow, you didn't even
300,000?
let me sit down.
200,000 or 300,000 in
I'm eating
the,
my snacky dessert.
Uh-oh.
What?
special stabilization account? We should have, we have a minimum of 200 in there, because we have 300 in there. I want to find out from Jean, I went to Lark, and she went down to the cafeteria, so I
I think
didn't.
it's 2, but I'll ask.
This might be a good time, Mike,
Anything else going
to
on?
take off.
All right, what's that? Yeah, large hot, cream only.
Brandon's got to go.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to pick a couple, we're going to go through these meeting minutes. You have any objections to any of them?
No, I read them all. I
Okay.
didn't see anything.
Okay. Wait a minute. Isn't 5 a quorum for this committee? Oh, Ellie's on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Good save.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right.
All right.
You have been paroled.
All right, thank you. Ben will tell me about the next,
Yeah.
when the next meeting is scheduled.
We have Ellie online, so we still have a quorum.
Thank you.
Now people are leaving when I show up.
Yeah.
It's a heck of a day. The It's 200,000 plus anything it may have earned.
Right, about 200,000 plus, so then this year will be another, because we have it in our budget, so we'll assume that 300's in there. So then that brings us down to, what we did is we took things that got moved around or funded by something else. It reduced our budget down to, for fiscal year '26, it brought it down 560,000. And when I talked to the fire department the other day about the potential ordering of the tanker truck, if he orders it in June, he would get it in, he expects January of '27, so that puts us consistent with our 5-year stagger. I don't know if it'll be a model year, but it'll be fiscal year. So at least we got the 5-year stagger going, I guess,
Yeah.
as close as we can on that particular vehicle. So with that being said, I think he's asking for 600,000. If that was to go through, that leaves us 260,000 on these requests. So what we're using is, because we don't know what it is, I'm using the 1,243,000 for a budget number, Matt, until we know what it actually is, just something for us. Good? Yeah.
It's not every day somebody gets a phone call from Joe Biden in the middle of a meeting, but I'm sure Mike would drop everything he was doing to talk to the president, which I think is appropriate. It doesn't actually work that way, no. The voice on the other end of the phone says, "This is the White House operator. Is so-and-so available to speak to the president?" And then you wait because you're on hold, because we don't waste the president's time. It's all fun and games until you're trying to find a United States senator at 10:30 at night. Like, where is he? Tell the president we're trying to find him. How are things at the White House? Good?
Good. Yeah, Joe fell down again, but that's all right. They're gonna pick him up.
Hey, your microphones are hot.
I didn't say Joe who.
Oh, okay.
Could have been my brother.
Just don't answer your pager. You don't even know who's
I don't
calling.
have a I'd have a bad hip if I had it. So we got roughly about 260,000, if that number was to stand. There's, prior to you coming in, Matt, there's a few requests from the fire department on fiscal year '26, replace the ambulance, Lucas, and cardiac monitors, but they're all coming out of ambulance receipts, so that won't affect our actual capital budget. The ambulance, I guess, takes them up to 30 months to get. There's an extremely long lead time on those things.
Yeah, it's getting really crazy how long it's taking to get ambulances, and I think it's contributing to no small degree to the cost of them. I have made it my policy, and I expressed this to the chief and deputy, that when we replace an ambulance, we want to completely reset.
Yeah.
You know, the monitor, the IV pump, the Lucas machine. Because we're doing this every 5-6 years, enough time will have passed already on a lot of that equipment, first and foremost. And secondly, it allows us to truly understand the unit cost of having that piece of equipment on the road providing ALS service. So I just like to keep it all bundled together, because if we spread it out into separate years, then you'd be driving around with a fairly old monitor and a brand-new ambulance. It just doesn't, I don't like that play. I like everything to kind of work together. These machines tend to be very sensitive, and once you have an electrical problem, you have a really big problem. But the ambulance they're looking to replace will be 8 years old by then? Am I correct?
So,
So we got it in...
right now, if they're gonna be 18, probably is what they're gonna do, so it's 6 now, so it'll be 8. Yeah, and they're gonna put in for the second one next year. That's what their desire is, so we'll see what happens. I don't even know if it's on this.
8 years is
Yeah, so
not
on
bad.
27, they have the other ambulance in here, 27.
Yeah. 8 years is not bad, really.
Yeah. Well, to the deputy's point that we can't wait for them to break to try to get another one. Right.
That's a very bad strategy,
Correct.
especially if you're the patient.
Yep.
Is there enough life left in the ambulances after 8 years to press them into service if one of the newer ones is out for something?
So the better part of wisdom is if you have a place to store it,
Yep.
you should have a backup ambulance that does run occasionally. It's got to run, the engine's got to run, the equipment has to run. You don't want mice building nests and all that. But it is always foreseeable that you have oil change, brake job,
Right.
something else has to happen with your frontline piece. And you can't just count on your second ambulance as being able to step up and do everything. It's not unusual for us to have both ambulances out at the same time, so you would need a reserve. So that's
Then the problem.
part of the strategy of
Housing.
building your rotation includes building in that backup piece. And the same thing goes with engine pumpers. You'd like to have one in reserve that, but it's just getting harder and harder because for whatever reason, these things are getting real expensive, really hard to get, so it takes a long time to get them. And then the design changes from one model year to the next are so much more than they used to happen. It used to be you'd buy a police cruiser, to buy another cruiser 2 years later, it still had the same cage in it. So you could mix and match parts and save yourself some money, and now that's the thing of the past. That's never true.
The oil tank is back on here for the school. I don't have a problem with that. I'll have a question for them. Now they went from 140 to 147. I don't know if hopefully they've secured somebody that could actually do it and give them a quote. So I don't know if they just did a 5% increase.
You have to ask
I
them.
know, that's a question for them. That's in fiscal year '27. So, we'll figure out who we're gonna, so maybe I can ask you about this, Matt. The digitizing, are we gonna plan on trying to do that in '26? Or start it for upstairs? It's on the little page, little paper. You have the small sheet with the list of all the capital requests? No?
This one?
No.
This one you're talking about?
Oh, wait a minute, it's way here at the back. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have halfway down, on 26, you have the digitizing the documents for 150,000. Do we want to still leave that on?
It says document digitizer phase 1? No, on the
For
first
fiscal
page.
'26 will begin July 1,
July
2026?
Yeah,
No. Yes.
no, 25.
25.
Do we think we'll get that done next summer or the next season? Because we have to do that, but we have to do, we get past this thing out in the street, we can get sprinklers and,
Yeah, I don't know if we'll have that project done yet, but maybe parallel tracking the things makes the most sense. We just need to clear the floor space so we can work up there.
right,
And that goes to the fire alarm project as well,
yeah.
just being able to move
So you
around.
want to leave that on there?
I'll leave that on
Okay.
there. I expect that cost to go up. I don't think anybody would be surprised by that. Not a lot, but it'll go up just because of labor.
So, let's see, oh, no, all right, that was renovation. First floor renovation, oh, that got moved, never mind. Right, so we just have to figure out who we want to come in before us for 26.
If you don't, I just popped in to see if I could be helpful. If you don't need me anymore, I got a 3 o'clock.
Yep, perfect, thanks.
Good to see all of you.
Yep, thank you.
I'm going to take this copy, so
You want the schools, right?
So schools, highway, and fire are the biggest
Yeah, I
departments.
agree.
So highway's gonna come in and explain it, but I just want to put,
I say highway, I should say Adam, because he's highway and buildings,
correct,
Yeah,
to be clear.
yeah. The, what I was gonna say, the hot box, the asphalt hot box, the idea behind that is they have one right now. If they get a second one, then they're able to do more road repairs. And they do a better job with the hot box than they do with anything else. And there's a lot of times that he's able to send up, he'll have 2 groups of guys that he can just send them out and do the patching. You can get more done quicker. And with everybody talking about the roads and stuff, I don't know if anybody's been down Rideout Road, they just did that. They ran some drain pipes across and did the patch, you can't even tell driving across the thing, it's just smooth and flat. So it's a beneficial thing, it saves us on the front end of things, and it enables us to get some of the tough spots of the roads patched properly, so they're not coming back out in the winter time. Hopping out when it's all snow and ice is in there. So,
well, I think the other thing people don't realize is there's a lot of private roads that have to be, like Parker Road off of my street, and they spend a good amount of time patching that because they have to get to the emergency type vehicles.
yep. So, let's look at the school. School has crack ceiling, running their track. Their access road in the back. Projectors. Their oil tank. Truck replacement. And this is, I haven't seen this before, well, I don't remember seeing it before, maybe we did talk about it at one point, the roof on the primary school. And mower replacement's been already listed on there. So we probably should have them come in first, I would think, because they have quite a bit on them. Just to try to get a handle on what they need.
Find out how bad their roof
The roof had some issues with seams. I went up on that roof when we did that gymnasium roof, and that was in 2016. No, 16 was the boiler downstairs, so we did that one later on.
Yeah,
We did that before the windows, in between the windows and
yeah.
that period. And they were having some issues with the roof on the front. It's old. It needs to be replaced. So, be interesting to see. So what we could do is to help them figure out what the square footage of the roof is in comparison to the square footage of this roof. We know what we just paid. So it'll give you a baseline at least to see if their number is accurate at, let's say 530. 55,000.
The original sheet they sent us actually had square footage and price per square foot breakdown.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Yeah, 27,750 at $20 a square foot. So they gave us a map of the common for that. It's not impressive.
We'll have to compare it to what this job actually was that we just did.
They have,
I don't know what the square footage of this is, but I know how much we spent.
they have things like that to pull off that roof as well.
Yeah, probably. But it's a lot lower to the ground too. You're not working with a parapet wall all the way around the thing like this one is.
Good there.
Okay, so we're gonna have the school come in next, right? And then,
Is this after they've got their return input?
return input, what return?
Well,
The turnbacks?
yeah,
Well, we're gonna get all that information. We won't know what our budget is now until like October, right? So I did this a little earlier in the season because we had some requests for the special town meeting. So we might as well just get the ball rolling. It'll be a lot easier. We're not gonna be stressed out trying to do it at the last minute. But we get their information and then we can, for lack of a better description, grade them in our own head so we know where they fall on priority, so then we can have a better discussion amongst ourselves
Yeah.
as to where they fit. And have a better understanding what the need and urgency is of a particular item. So then,
exactly.
even if we're over our number, then we need to talk to other people, town administrator and finance director,
Yep.
to find out if there's a possibility, or we have to take other things off the list that are already on there.
Yep,
Not unusual. And I don't want to do that, but it's a strong possibility if you come in, we have 260,000 after you buy a fire truck, for argument's sake, right? You have 260,000 left, and we need a $555,000 roof. Well, we got a problem. Right? So we got to figure out where that fits. It could be a conversation, is the roof more urgent than the fire truck? Right? So these are discussions that they're going to have to come in and weigh in with us on. So we should talk, why don't we have the school and the fire department come in? Because those are two biggest numbers that we have on there. The ambulance receipt stuff is pretty straightforward for a discussion. That we'll get input from finance director and the town administrator as to if we use appropriating those monies. We don't make that decision. We only make our recommendations. The fire truck purchase, we need more information from that department so we can figure out where it fits on it, just like the school
Yep.
has the oil tank. Is that ready to go? Are you ready to do that? So at some point, we can't keep pushing off different projects. They're going to be a problem.
yep.
They're all going to come at once, and then it's going to wipe out a complete budget again.
And I think that's what
Mike?
we've been trying to
1 second, Ellie. Yeah.
not have happen, that
Yep.
everything comes at once.
Yep. Go ahead, Ellie.
Are we all set for the special town meeting? Isn't that the oomph that we came early to start talking about everything?
Yep.
Is there anything that we have to vote on for the special town meeting in the fall?
Is that the agenda? I didn't get one. Yeah, we can decide on that right now if you like. It's a good point that you brought it up. In my mind is I thought we're already moving forward in that direction with those, we didn't vote on them. Why don't we just consider that right now? Do we want to, let's do them as three separate ones. That way it's easier. I don't like grouping stuff together.
The conversation I had with Gene, I think the green communities had to be separate anyway. Because of anything with the schools.
Yeah, but I mean for our voting
Oh, yeah, for our
purpose.
vote, yeah.
For our voting purpose. So the first thing on there, let's open up, start talking about green communities LED for the Douglas Middle School for $30,000. Does anybody have any comments on that? Do we want to move to a vote on it? You have any comments on that, Ben?
Don't.
Shirley?
No.
No.
No. Ellie, you have any comments on that one?
No.
Okay, I would be looking for a motion to recommend that we move Green Communities LED for the Douglas Middle School for $30,000 to the special town meeting warrant.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussions? Seeing as none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can we do a roll call because Ellie's
Yep.
remote?
Ben Tessino, aye.
Shirley Mazinski, aye.
Chris Pupka, aye.
Ellie Chesbro, aye.
Mike Fitzpatrick, aye. Okay, the next one is the post office LED for $23,247. And does anybody recall if that's the gross number and we could potentially get a 50% grant? Or is it?
That was my recollection of what Benoit said, though. He said it was unlikely that we'd be able to execute in time for that
Okay.
match. But
So,
maybe
so if we can, get this, yeah, you just refreshed my memory. If we can
Yeah.
get this project completed by the end of the calendar year, we would qualify for a 50% grant on that. However, Matt Benoit feels that it's unlikely that we would make that time span. So the vote is for the full value of $23,247 for the post office LED.
Would you repeat that, please, again?
The amount?
Yeah.
$23,247. It's right at we're talking about these top three things on
Yep,
your sheet.
okay.
Yep. So I'm looking for a motion for that.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing as none, roll call vote, please.
Ben Tessino, aye.
Shirley Mazinski, aye.
Chris Pupka, aye.
Ellie Chesbro, aye.
Mike Fitzpatrick, aye. The third item for the special town meeting will be the town hall LED for the same situation as the previous item. The $97,544 is the full amount. There's a potential for a 50% grant if we can complete it prior to the end of this calendar year. However, Matt Benoit feels that it would be unlikely to secure contractors and get everything in place to have it done in time. I have a motion for that.
Shirley Mazinski, aye.
No, a motion for that.
You just said it.
No, I just said I need a
I'm
motion.
sorry. So moved. I got you. Sorry.
Thanks for coming back. All right, so we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing as none, roll call vote.
Ben Tessino, aye.
Shirley Mazinski, aye.
Chris Pupka, aye.
Ellie Chesbro, aye.
Mike Fitzpatrick, aye. Ellie, you're missing all the fun here. I know you're up north enjoying the foliage, but you're missing some fun.
No foliage yet.
All right.
Well, maybe a little bit, but. And did we say where the funding was coming from? Free cash?
That's gonna come out of free cash.
All of it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Unless we get lucky and get some grant money. But we'd have to complete it in time for the not grant, but National Grid
Yeah.
contribution.
Right.
So school and fire department, and then we can have, I think that'll be enough for that meeting. I don't want to
Yeah.
have too much on it. That'll be quite a bit.
And when are you thinking of that meeting?
We haven't got to that point yet. That's what I'm going to ask everybody when they want to do it. And then the one after that, we should bring in building facilities and highway. We have, let's look and see what else we have on here. Highway. We need to bring in the, we need to bring in the library. However, I think the town administrator needs to talk to him, as I explained at the last meeting, because it exceeds $50,000. It triggers our capital, building and facility construction committee's bylaw. So we need a recommendation from them in order for it to get onto capital, because it's a construction project. And also it needs to go out to bid, and they only have, I believe they only have one bid on that. So my concern is it enough? I'm not saying that it's a cheap price, I'm just, where you only get one quote, and we do it for the quote, and it comes in $1 more, the project doesn't get done. And now the money's tied up, similar to what our fire alarm system that started at 28,000 and then grew to 100 and something thousand, and was still talking about doing it at another higher rate. So if everybody agrees, I'm going to make a recommendation that the town administrator reach out to the library director and have a conversation with them to try to help him get to where he needs to be to move this project forward. Everybody agree with that?
Yeah.
You agree with that, Ellie?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Because I don't want to mislead them and lead them down a path that they're not going to be able to get it done. So, you know, we can't, I'm not going to violate whatever our bylaws are. So we have the middle school, we have the highway, we have the buildings. So those are the three things that are on for that. So why don't we, let's start with that. We'll have the school, then we'll have highway and buildings come in, which is, we all know it's the same person, but
I thought it was school and fire.
Yeah, I thought we did school and fire.
school and fire, what did I say?
You said school and highway.
School and highway, fire, highway.
Next door to each other.
You got to go down the highway to get to the fire. So, School and fire department will come in next. We'll have the school first, then we'll have the fire department second, then we'll have highways and buildings coming in. We're going to make a recommendation. I'm going to ask the town administrator to reach out to the library director to help him through his process. He's just going to get frustrated coming in because we're going to tell him that we can't talk to him about it because it hasn't gone through the steps to get on the list. So, okay. When do we want to meet again? Would we like to do it a week from now? We're not in a huge rush, so we've already accomplished our rush job of the LED program. So we can give direction to Mr. Benoit to move forward and get that ready for the town warrant. All this other stuff we have to have done this fall. I'd like to have it done this fall, be done by the first of the year, so then town administration can create whatever budgets they need to create, and we're not holding it up, so. Next Thursday at 2 o'clock? And I'll try to remember. No? We can do a different day.
I'm just thinking, why don't we pick either one of those 2 Thursdays and make sure the school's available to come before we actually schedule a meeting? I'm available either of those 2 Thursdays.
Okay,
but if
so
they're not available, it's
Yep.
no point.
So I'll do it like this. A good point, Chris, is
Yeah.
I'm gonna have Lisa reach out to all 4 departments, right? Even though one person is doing one, I still treat it as 2 because someday it's going to be 2 separate things. All 4 departments to find out what their schedule is. And I want to keep them on those days as we set up. I think the school and the fire are two big items that we have to get our head around. And I'd rather have them at the same time so we don't forget something, right? So we can we'll have them there and they can do their due diligence to try to convince us to get to where they need to be, I guess.
Okay, let us know.
So I'm gonna have Lisa reach out to them. Today is Thursday, so we won't hear nothing until next week. She'll send an email out to them. If we hear back on Monday, then she's gonna send an email to everybody to find out your availability. And we'll try to continue to do it the same way we've been doing it, do it 2 o'clock in the afternoon, seems to work for everybody.
Mike,
Yes,
I'm on vacation, believe it or not today, I'm not, but from October 1st through 10th.
And I'm the 11th through the 18th.
It's okay.
and according to that bylaw, nobody can take vacation until we're done with the capital plan.
No, that's not in the bylaw.
So right now, so we might be able to, if we can get that done next week, that'll work out good. And you're off from when?
The 11th to the 18th.
11 from the 18th. So we'll see if we can get next week's in so we can get those 2 big ones off our plate. And then we're gonna skip about 3 weeks.
Okay.
And then we'll regroup again after both of you 2 come back refreshed. Sound like a plan, Ellie?
Yep.
Okay. If they can't make next week, it's not the end of the world. We can wait 3 or 4 weeks because if we're in October, I'd like to be, come Thanksgiving, around that time, I want to be in pretty good shape to know where we're going with this stuff. And I don't think we're that far off. I think we'll get this cleaned up. In the meantime, I'll work with Lisa and try to get this situated. And what I'm going to do is I'll have her forward an email to everybody so you get a copy of what I have her clean up. Just don't respond. Just take it to look at. If there's something that you want to respond to, send it to Lisa only. Don't reply all. Only you respond back to Lisa, and then we don't break a rolling quorum or an open meeting law. Okay? Minutes. First set of minutes, you always do the oldest one first. So the first set of minutes is going to be February 20th. And after we approve these minutes, it might be helpful for everybody to keep these and look through them because it's going to refresh some of
Yeah.
the conversations in your head as to what we talked about last year.
I move we
I have
approve.
something on this one.
Yep.
I take minutes for the library, and I try to take them thinking ahead 50 years after I'm long gone, of what if the people will understand what I have written. And I think one of the important things is to put out the full name of people like Mr. Furno was talked about with the highway department and the building maintenance, which is probably true, but it should say Adam. Adam Furno.
Good point, Ellen.
And
Yeah.
I just, and is it important, just for the attendance, and is it just the members that are attending, or are the people discussing stuff I don't think it's in this one.
No, I think the
Well,
attendance,
Adam, like, if Adam was here talking about his stuff, should he be part of the attendance?
No,
Or not?
no, because
It's not on the,
if you think, it wouldn't be the normal process, because if you get to another meeting and it's a contentious meeting and you have the room full of people, you're not going to list everybody that's in the room, right? Because they all speak
Yeah.
if it's a debate. So attendance is typically the members of the board or committee.
Yeah, just showing out a quorum.
Right.
Yep. But the
Okay,
the
and I have
point,
something on the
pointing,
second page.
second page, okay, got it.
At the very bottom, it says Dick Vandenberg is absent, and it should say was absent from the room.
Yeah, okay.
I move that we accept the minutes as amended.
Second?
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing as none, all in favor?
You want to do a roll call?
Yes.
Ben Tessino, aye.
Shirley Nazinski, aye.
Chris Pupka, aye.
Ellie Chesborough, aye.
Mike Fitzpatrick, aye. That was a good point, Ellie, about the Mr. Furno, because there's a couple of them around, so it could be almost any of them.
Several, you know.
Yep, yep. And they could confuse me with the superintendent of schools. Okay, the next one after my little joke is March 6th. So, going back to the previous minutes, it's going to be the same on here.
Well, I think it should be that Dr. Vieira and Keegan were here, attended the meeting and presented that this. If we're not putting them in the attendance part, you should, it just sort of, it sounds like they're there all the time, but it wasn't that. Again, thinking 50 years in advance, it sounds not clear to me.
Yeah, but not, they wouldn't be under attendance, so they're in, if you look at the first, number one,
Yeah, it just says they passed out or passed around stuff, but it formally just say that they were, these two people were in attendance or came to the meeting or presented at the meeting and passed around school capital requests, something like that. But just to say they were at the meeting for this, you know, the school department. And the same thing, like the EV chargers, we don't know who Mr. Wojcik is 50 years from now, but Town Administrator Wojcik was present at the meeting and received permission from the state to rip them out, the EV chargers.
well, we've had this discussion about, and I'm just going to give you my opinion on it. We've had this discussion on a few different boards or committees that I may or may not have been part of. But this isn't a transcript. It's just an overview of what they give you a rough idea of what the meeting is about. When you wanted to get into great detail about the meeting, then you would actually watch the video. If we start putting too much into it, then the minutes just get very long, and it ends up becoming a transcript versus an overview. Now, Mr. Wojcik, whether it's Mr. Wojcik or a town administrator during this period of time, I don't know. I don't know how to view that one. This is typically how the minutes have been written in most of the things that I'm involved in, the different boards and committees. And it's the recording secretary for this particular committee doesn't handle all the ones that I'm doing all the time, so it's consistent, no matter who it is that's doing it. The Mr. Freno thing I get, the I guess that's when we would need clarity on it, so.
I don't have a problem having it say Mr. Wojcik, Town Administrator.
Slash, and have town administrator added to it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mr. Wojcik, comma, Town Administrator,
Yeah,
whatever.
well, I don't have a problem with it either, it's just
Yeah.
I don't want to, I want to make sure we're making the right decision.
Nobody is going to know who Wojcik is.
Yeah,
Well, maybe they will. Maybe he'll be very, very famous by then.
He will, there's a movie coming out,
yeah.
Yes.
and if you're really nice, I'll get you his autograph.
Okay.
And actually, I've heard that there may be some stars in our mix over here.
Yeah, right. Uh-huh,
so-
I hear you.
Maybe I'll be seeking your autograph at some point, Ellie.
I'll give it to you for a price.
I move we approve the minutes as amended for Wednesday, Capital Improvement Committee, Wednesday, March 6, 2024.
Yeah, so just so we're clear on the amendment, because I'm not,
Yes.
are we just adding town administrator to Mr. Wojcik's name?
As far as I'm concerned.
That's my understanding.
Okay, motion's been made. Is there a second?
There was.
Seconded, yeah.
There's a second. Any further discussion? Seeing as none, all in favor?
Ben Tessino, aye.
Shirley Masinski, aye.
Chris Popka, aye.
Ellie Chesbro abstain.
Mike Fitzpatrick, aye. Meeting minutes of March 12th, 2024.
I have some here.
Yep,
Under 2, you see these, I don't know what TS stands for, 25-50 TS. I don't know what that is, time something or.
oh, timestamp, that's a timestamp, yep.
Yeah, but I don't know that, and will they know it 50 years from now? But timestamp, why isn't there anything under 1? Why is there not a TS under 1?
Because that's when it started.
Right, you have the
Good.
called order too.
Yeah, because the,
This one starts at .10 TS. The previous one beyond that as .10 TS, so it does start there. This one doesn't start with anything. It
Okay.
just jumps into 25-50
Okay.
TS.
No, it says meeting,
no,
I'm
no,
sorry.
so revert back to the previous minutes.
yeah.
The meeting was called to order at 2 PM, 10 seconds into the meeting. That's what Ellie's trying to point out. It doesn't call when,
Yep.
the meeting was called to order at 2:24. 25 minutes later, you're on number 2. Is it assumed that we start at 2:24, or did we start 20 minutes later? Correct, Ellie?
Right.
Right, that's all. She wants just a timestamp on one, which is fine.
If to be consistent.
No, I got it.
Then on the second page, I have the top sentence. It says, motion to accept the minutes as submitted. And then this gets confusing. I would knock out the word with, and you could put a comma there and say, noting that they received Ellie Chesbro's submitted minute information, another comma. So the motion was made by Dick Vandenberg, but it gets very confusing in there that it wasn't made by, there was all this other stuff about Ellie Chesbro's submitted minute information. So either put that it was, take the noting that they received LHS submitted minute information, and just that this was submitted, that this was as submitted by Dick Vandenberg, seconded by Ben Tessino, and passed unanimously. Note that they received Ellie Chesbro submitted minute information, if she wants to say that. Or Ellie Chesbro submitted information was received. But to have that in the middle of everything, I don't think is clear with the motion.
Yeah.
So just put a note, I don't know if you're going to say something.
I was going to say, strike the word with, put commas around noting that they received Ellie Chesboro's submitted minute information, close comma, and then it reads just like any other one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you making a note on your thing?
Yep.
We've got to give this stuff to somebody.
I just have one typo, I guess, under 2, the 1, 2, 3, it's sentence down, the very beginning, better, I think it should say known company, not no company, K-N-O-W, add an N.
Number 2.
They received 2 different quotes, so forth. Better, and then it's, the one with 36,000 is from a better known company. Need an N there.
Oh, okay. Third line after
From
number
a
2.
better known, yes, you're correct. Should be an N after that.
Where is this?
On line 2, third sentence,
2.
right? So you, well, you go on the, just read it. This, number 2, discussion on municipal center EV charges. They received 2 different quotes, one for 33,000 and one for 36. The one for 36 is from a better known company, not a betting now
Oh.
company.
No.
Yep.
No, okay.
Yep.
So with an N on the end of it.
Correct.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, looking for a motion to approve the minutes as amended.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and second. Any further discussion? Seeing as none,
Ben Tessino, aye.
Shirley Mazinski abstains because I wasn't there.
Chris Popka, aye.
Oh, Ellie Chesbro, aye.
Mike Fitzpatrick.
Do we not have enough to vote on this without her abstaining?
Did we just do 12?
This was 12.
No, the 19th?
No, that's what we're working on, is 12.
Well, we just did 12.
Yeah,
Did you abstain?
I wasn't there, so.
Okay. We're going to table these meetings, minutes. Table meeting minutes, as Chris Popka pointed out, there's not enough here for a quorum to vote on them.
Want to get them done.
Well, Dick and Chris were here. Did Chris abstain too? Or you were here at the meeting?
I was at the meeting, but I'm
So,
saying we only have
it's
4
back.
people voting right now.
But, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, and that quorum is
So-
5.
we have to have a quorum, or even if she abstains?
Well, it might be, you guys look through 19, because it may be the majority of the people in attendance at the meeting, not of the group. I'll find out.
Sorry.
No, I only want to discuss these things once. I won't have to go back and do it again.
Yeah, I know, huh?
I believe it's a quorum in which the attendance is, so we're gonna vote on those, and we did vote on them, didn't we?
Yes.
I just
Yeah.
did that. Yep,
Makes me happy.
yep. So number 6 is accepted as amended. We all voted on it, Shirley abstained, and the majority of the people in attendance approved them. We're on number 19.
Yep.
Now that Ellie has trained me to look and see if I have timestamps on all the items, I see that. So what do you have, Ellie?
I have, it starts with discuss special articles at 1. I would like it to say, discuss either the fall or whatever the date of the fall.
STM,
Special town meeting.
discuss STM articles, yep. Special town meeting articles, yep.
November something or other? Or the fall
Well,
special town
if we
meeting?
put special town meeting, that's in the fall, right?
Yeah, not necessarily. It used to be that special town meetings were any time during the year that was not the annual town meeting.
Okay, so I put-
it
I
can't
put-
just
I-
be assumed
I put
that
no,
it's,
I put November 2024.
So
And
this,
you could
this is
just
March
say-
19th?
You can put in parentheses STM, so you know that that's what special town meeting stands for, if you refer to it again. Because further in the sentence, the members reviewed and discussed the list of special articles, or STM articles. And Mr. Fitzpatrick stated that the items for the special, which is STM, special town meeting, were the post office paving and the cable broadcast server, and there might be one other item. So that's, I would just keep it consistent that it's not special, because we're all special, but it is the special town meeting, SPTM.
Okay. So, I think these minutes need to go back because they're totally wrong. If you read number 2, discuss capital plan, there was a discussion on how the proposed highway building will be paid for. The list is as follows.
Yeah.
Two separate
that's- Yeah.
It's 2 separate
I would
items.
just take out that first sentence. You don't have to have absolutely everything that went on at the meeting.
Oh, okay. So we're going to take out that first sentence, the discussion on how the highway building will be paid for. Huh? And then just keep the list as follows on the capital plan.
Yeah.
So this is, I don't feel comfortable changing these minutes like this until they're looked at again. I might have Lisa look at them and see if this is accurate, because we're basically going to be rewriting these minutes almost in the entirety without having a tape from March 19th to look at, and I don't think that would serve the minutes well. I don't mind minor modifications,
It's like starting.
but this here is
That could have been a half
is
hour.
too confusing here, and this
Yeah.
is going to be a problem.
Yeah, it could
Do
be
you
a
wanna
half-hour
put-
discussion boiled into one sentence.
But I don't even know how to answer it, because I don't know.
Right.
So we're
Yeah, but I
putting,
don't think anybody knows yet what it is, so that's why you don't have to have that sentence in there.
That's not what I'm talking
This
about.
is-
That's not what I'm talking about, Ellie. I'm talking about the minutes as a whole. If you say, it has that statement, and then it says the list as follows, I'm not going to assume that it's two different items. I don't want to do that. I'd rather have these minutes looked at and to have it more accurate than for us to sit here and make a decision on something that happened 6 months ago.
yeah.
I don't remember that meeting at all.
So we'll put a hold.
We're going to put a hold on 19. So we're on the 26. Timestamps are in place.
Oh, we're on March 26th?
Yep.
Yes.
I have nothing.
Did you quiet me?
No, you're still there.
Okay, I have some, this is on the March 26th minutes.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's nothing big.
There's only a little tiny paragraph, so it can't be too big. Go ahead.
The time stamp for 1915 near the bottom,
Yeah,
it talks to the motion to approve the capital improvement supplemental budget for special town meeting as written. I would say the November, whatever it was, special town meeting.
well, next time you make that motion, make sure you include that in there.
I didn't make that motion.
Yes, you did.
That's what it said.
Read it.
Oh, no, well, all right, yeah, sure, okay.
I was only teasing you.
Well, I'm not teasable.
Yes, you are.
Is that for the November or for the?
It must be from May.
Yeah.
No, special town meeting is in the fall.
But this,
Well, there is one in before the annual town meeting, too.
Yeah, we hope.
Oh, okay, that's what it is. Yep.
yeah, because this is March 26th.
yeah.
Oh, November what? What's the date?
No, it's going to be May.
May.
It's going to be the special meeting before the annual town meeting.
Okay, so that's on the,
That's why it's called the special town meeting, because it's before the annual. This was in March, so this was a month and a half before that
so
meeting.
this was in May.
Correct,
This was in May, right?
correct.
The May special town meeting.
Yeah.
We have a date on when the meeting was, May something or other?
Nope. It was May, but we only had one special in May, so we should be able to narrow it down.
It should be the same day as the annual town meeting.
It is the same day because we have the special town meeting immediately preceding the
May 6th, 2024.
May 6th.
Yep.
May 6th, 2024.
All right, good.
Okay, need a motion to approve the meeting minutes as amended for March 26, 2024.
So moved.
Second.
Motion is made and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing as none, all in favor?
Ben Tessino, aye.
Shirley Masinski, aye.
Chris Popka, aye.
Ellie Chesbro, aye.
Mike Fitzpatrick, aye. So, just a little recap. Lisa, I'm going to ask Lisa to email the school and fire department to see if their availability next week. If we can't make that happen, we're going to do it when Ellie and Chris return from vacation, with approximately 3 weeks out, maybe 4. Then we'll also, she's also going to reach out to highway and buildings, set them, they'll definitely be set up afterwards. They're not going to happen next week. Something else that I wanted
You
to.
were going to review some of the stuff we went through with Lisa.
Yep, so I'm gonna clean up this a little bit, have them emailed around to everybody. Any comment at all that you have, send it to Lisa, do not send it to me or any other member. And we'll have the minutes from March 19th reviewed, if there's any corrections needed on that.
Yeah.
So it reads a little easier, I guess. Maybe it could have been that sentence should have just dropped down, and then just set up as this is the capital improvement plan of whatever year this happens to be. Yeah. With that, anybody else have
It
anything?
could be, yes, it could be as, I mean, you could drop it off, or you could just say, the proposed highway building was discussed,
Yep,
discussed it.
okay. Yep, yeah, we'll get that cleaned up. So with that, if nobody else has anything else, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
You didn't want to do it, you didn't want to go?
I didn't.
So motion's been made and seconded. Any further discussion? Seeing as none, all in favor?
Ben Tessino, aye.
Shirley Masinski, aye.
Chris Popka, aye.
Ellie Chesbro, aye.
I want to wait a couple minutes. No. Mike Fitzpatrick, aye. Thanks, Ellie.